All right, Cancer. So this week from Late Vampire, you pulled the monster within. Internal struggle, personal challenges, wanting to improve. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled forgiveness. Now, I kind of feel a little different about these two, but we'll get into this. So now, with the monster within, the blessing is talking about how knowing our own faults and flaws can give us the tools to transform them into strengths. And then working with this card talks about using discipline to create new ways of dealing with frustrations and difficulties. Basically, it's saying that there's something within you that you feel like you're struggling with it, that you want to improve for yourself. Now, for some of you, it's going to have to do with forgiveness. And it may be the need to forgive yourself more than, feeling like there's something wrong with you for not being able to forgive others. So now forgiveness, the very first quote for this card says, we never forgive others, only ourselves for having judged them. Now, the inspiration says that this card's true essence lies in not harboring resentment. It is about transcending forgiveness by focusing on the intention, not on the pain. And then the personal question says that this may be a time of family healing. Can I forgive myself for loving people who hurt me? The key ideas are wishes fulfilled, holding on to dreams, and past wounding. But I think, Cancer, that a part of me wants to say that there's nothing wrong with you. Forgiveness is fine if you're forgiving yourself for being in a situation where you were caused a lot of pain. Where, you start to think that something is wrong with you when there may not be at all. Now, on the other hand, it may still apply here for some of you that the monster within is you needing to look at, the idea of forgiveness differently. All right, Cancer, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. Very nice, very, very nice. So new beginning, new practical beginning, new real beginning. And I always say this when I see this one. As much as I love the Ace of Cups, I would much rather see this one. It has the potential here to be long-lasting. But it's real, and it's practical. For some of you, this could have to do with a new job, definitely, with the Ace of Coins. Some new financial growth. But either way, the beginning of something new here that is practical and real, and it looks good. And in the past, the Eight of Cups. So now the Eight of Cups is the past coming through, is basically talking about, there was something that you needed to move away from that was emotionally dragging you down, right? That's why they say with the Eight of Cups, it's about moving on emotionally before we do physically. There's always a question on whether or not you've actually moved away from it. But this being in the past is suggesting that, there was something that may have been draining you, that you are walking away from here, and now you're looking at beautiful, beautiful new beginning. Very nice. So, and I say this with the Eight of Cups because a lot of times, it's so easy for people to say, well, you just need to walk away from it. You just got to get away from it, yada, yada, right? Like, it's not always that easy, especially when you've invested so much emotional time with it. But by you doing this, it's led you now into the Nine of Cups being right in your face with the Ace of Coins. It's happiness, and it's you having your wishes fulfilled. Between the two, beautiful energy. It's not that you abandoned something, right? Like, you didn't abandon anything here. You walked away from what was dragging you down, and you decided to go after your own happiness, and it looks good. I don't know why I feel like there's a need to defend the fact that you've done this. And it may just be the oracle cards here, because I still do get the feeling that you were put through a situation where, you came out of it thinking that there was something wrong with you, and there may not have been at all. Oh, Cancer. Oh my goodness. Future conditions, the Four of Cups. What the hell? If you're having your wishes fulfilled and you have this Ace of Coins, Boredom? What are you bored with? That's not good. And it may just be that you're numb. You may just have that like numb feeling. I'm getting that this week with this damn card. Oh man, emotional stasis. And then the other problem here is, if you're so focused on what's in front of you, you may not be seeing what's being offered. And there's the new beginning right there. Like, where is this emotional funk coming from? It's funny. It's almost like there's a brand new beginning with that Ace of Coins. You walked away from something that you spent a lot of time with that wasn't fulfilling you. Now you're having your wishes fulfilled. But are you truly with the Four of Cups? I kind of get the feeling that what you had in the past was what made you happy, and you kind of like, are just numb now. I kind of feel like a pull to go back to it. Right? Like, it's rough, but it's not that bad. But then at the same time, it's like emotionally confusing. I mean, good God. I can understand how in the present moment you feel like, this new beginning is like your wishes are being fulfilled. This is what I wanted. But then you get to a point in future conditions where you're like, okay, I'm bored with it now. Was this really what I wanted? I mean, you spent so much time here with that Eight of Cups with the past. I feel a pull. I feel like this pull to go back to it. Man. Oh, Cancer. Oh. Okay. Your best path to follow, the Two of Swords. You're either feeling like and I've been saying this a lot with this card just because of the way it's depicted. The Two of Swords is about, you like crossing yourself or like, protecting yourself, right? But then it's also about needing to make difficult decisions and not being able to do it. Now, on the other hand, it's like your hands are tied and that's why you're not making a decision. Do you feel like your hands are tied with this situation here? It's like, it's good, but it's not. I guess it's what I wanted, but when you get it, are you still going to want it? Is it still going to satisfy you? Oh my God, this is like the perfect example of this with the Nine of Cups. All right. So if you feel like your hands are tied with this, there's something wrong. Clearly here with the Four of Cups, there's something wrong. You're going to have to, get some clarity here and make a choice, make a decision. Is this really what you wanted? If it's not, can you go back to what you left behind in the past? Man. Oh, shit. Okay, I need a drink. The Queen of Coins in your environment. Fuck. Now, this is another person. That I will say right off the bat, that is exactly how I feel about this. This being in your environment, and again, being a general reading, this could be male or female. But what's important to me is the personality. With the Queen of Coins, I'm looking at a situation here where you're looking at somebody that is practical, who is stable, who is real. But you're in future conditions like, meh. But you feel like you're stuck with it. It's weird. Oh my goodness, this is so bizarre, Cancer. What the hell? Now, on the other hand, the way that she is lining up, he or she is lining up with the Eight of Cups. Is this who you left behind and like want to go back to? Or is this the person right now that you thought you were going to be happy with, but you're just kind of losing interest in, and you feel like, your hands are tied in it? Oh boy. Okay, here we go. And you're not talking. Oh, wow. Your hopes and your fears, the Four of Swords. I feel like you want to take a break from all of this. You need to think about some things here, especially with the Four of Cups being there. You need to think about some shit. But then the other thing is there's silence. Nobody's talking and nobody's doing anything. You know, the fear would be that you can't say what you need to say. But I think that you need some time here. It's like you need a break. You need to just take a break here. But you're going to have to make a choice. Regardless of however you feel like your hands are tied, you're going to have to eventually make a choice here. Because that Four of Cups is not where you want to be. Man, Cancer. All right. Oh, shit. All right. Now, oh my goodness. Future conditions. And I'm going to clarify this. The King of Swords. Now, and this specifically is going to go out to the Cancer male friends that I have out there. You got to be careful here. And I tell this to, you know, people I do readings for. When this shows up, you have to be careful about acting like the King of Swords. It's one thing to be, you know, a very good communicator, being a very logical, critical thinker, you know, being very fair and just, and then being a dick because you're bored, you know, and I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say it straight out like that. You need to be careful here. Now, on the other hand, this may be, you know, the situation here where you may be bored with this person. We're going to clarify this, but I get more the feeling of you getting a little bit like, oh, emotionally distant. Why is the King of Swords the outcome for Cancer? Oh, Cancer. No, that's bad. That's really, really bad. I'm going to tell you right now, you need to be really careful here. You have to be really careful whether you're male or female. You don't want to get, you know, so wrapped up in this kind of thinking here that you start to become like really harsh. You got to be careful here. You know, and if this is somebody external that is like causing you like really bad negative thinking, you know, it's like, I feel like a couple of different things here. First, we're going to go with the feeling here where some of you, you know, have walked away from something and it may be somebody, and now you're moving into a situation where you think you have happiness, but you're bored with it. It didn't really bring you the fulfillment that you wanted, but you feel like you're stuck with it. You're not doing anything. You're not saying anything, but you're thinking about shit. Right? And if you have something to say, you're not doing it. And then you get to the point here where your thoughts are in a really bad spot and you have the potential here to become like brutal with the communication. You got to be careful with that. Now, on the other hand, and this is the other way that I'm feeling about this, and Cancer, for some of you, this is going to be a person that is making you feel really bad. Your thoughts are not in a good spot at all, at all. And I think that that is where the emotional funk is coming from. And some of you may feel like you're trapped in this situation, you know, and maybe you haven't walked away from it. And that's why the Eight of Cups is showing up. But there's something else. There is something else here that is tied in with some wish fulfillment and happiness and possibly another person. Cancer. This is craziness, craziness. All right, we're going to take a look at the soul trees because otherwise I would clarify the shit out of this and get too specific, and I don't want to do that. It's going to apply differently to some people, and for some people, this isn't going to resonate at all. Again, general reading. All right, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages we can get for you guys, but man, like I'm like deep in it with the emotions. Like I can feel the pull. Some of you want to go back to something that you may have left because what you have now didn't truly bring you the happiness that you thought it was going to. Solar plexus and passion. Your inner power. What is your inner power? Your inner power is your solar plexus, your sense of self, your identity, right? And tapping into passion, having a passion for something, having passion for life, having a new passion come in. But, you know, you're going to have to pull on your inner power here and get like control over, you know, who you are. And again, it goes back to that King of Swords. You got to be careful there. You got to be careful. And then if you feel like you're stuck with a King of Swords, that's making you feel really shitty and think really bad about yourself, you know, it's time to tap into your inner power and remember who you are, right? And there is room here for new passion in your life. Man, Cancer. All right, we're going to take a look at Whispers of Love to see what messages we can get for you guys to attract love in your life. But, turn on your heart light. Allow yourself in this moment to reflect on a time when you experienced love. And then love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Wow, Cancer. Like, I'm not even going to touch on that. I feel, you know, like I'm talking to two different sets of people here. You know, I would be careful. I would be careful with, you know, what you feel like you're stuck with here. Eventually, you're going to have to make a hard choice. And I think that, you know, for a lot of you, you need to go back and you need to really think about what is happiness for you. Because you coming out with this boredom and then coming out with the King of Swords and the Five of Swords, or the 9, is not good. And you have something in your environment, though, that I think is tied to that happiness. All right, Cancer. So this reading has been difficult for me because I feel like I'm being pulled two different ways. There's like two different things that are going on for like different sets of people here. So we'll get into this. First of all, you're looking at a new beginning here, right? But for some of you, with the way that it lines up, you're like not really all that satisfied with it. You know, and it may have to do with a person here, and I worry about this. The King of Swords and the 9 of Swords. This person is either not thinking right, or they've got you thinking negatively. Because I still get the feeling that for some of you, you had this put on you. You know, the monster within and forgiveness. You know, it feels like there was nothing wrong with you in the first place, but you may have been put in a situation with a person where they made you feel like there was something wrong with you when there wasn't. Now, on the other hand, you know, when you're looking at dealing with the monster within, the warning still applies. You have to be careful about surrounding yourself with that kind of energy with the King of Swords. Because, you know, I think that you may be upset because you feel like your hands are tied in the situation, right? You're going to have to make a decision here, but I feel like you can't just yet. Like you can't, because you're in this situation. There isn't much you can do right at the moment. So you just have to be careful with that King of Swords coming out, whether that is dealing with a person or the energy surrounding you. But I do think that this is a person, and this may be the person that you walked away from that was truly what brought you happiness. Because it's almost like, okay, well, I walked away from it. Now I'm having my wishes fulfilled. But when it came to you, you know, did it truly satisfy you? And then with the Four of Cups, I feel like that's no, you know. It's difficult. And then, you know, here with the Four Swords, it's either you wanting to take a break from somebody or a situation, but then also it's like you're being silent. You're not really saying the things that you need to say, though, either. You know, and it may get to a point where when you do say it, it may come out really harsh with the way the King of Swords is coming out. It just depends, Cancer. Now, inner power, solar plexus, and passion, right? Tapping into your inner power and knowing who you are, knowing who you truly are, right? and having a better sense of yourself, and opening up to new passion and having, more of a passion for, who you are. Now, as far as whispers of love, if I could talk right. Oh my goodness. I can't talk either. So yeah. Now, whispers of love. Turn on your heart light and love endures, right? Reflect on a time where you experienced love. And then, love endures. It makes me think that some of you do want to go back to something or somebody that you may have walked away from, because there's still that, happiness that's tied in with them. It just depends. It just depends on who I'm talking to here, but I do feel like I'm being pulled both ways. But regardless, with the King of Swords and the Nine of Swords coming out, you have to be careful here about who you're dealing with and the way that you're thinking.